Kendrick Johnson coming to you once again. This time, my guest is one of the best prolific scorers in the nation. She just recently went over 5,000 points. You can tell by the shirt. She's heading to the University of Kentucky next year. Please welcome my guest, Maddyn Greenway, and 2026 McDonald's All-American. Congrats to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm super excited.
How cool is it to go over 5,000, be one of the best players in the nation, and get the McDonald's All American like within like a week or two? Like, boom,
Yeah.
all the.
Yeah, it was all in 1 week. It was crazy. I just think it's, one of those moments where you dream of it, all growing up and playing basketball. It's something that you want to happen. And then for it all to happen and to have, my support system around me was super fun and super exciting. It made for a good week.
For some people, like, because a lot of people look at how y'all girls' games are going to project. Somebody's like, she gonna be doing all that in Kentucky. Oh, they're gonna deal up in the SEC. Well,
Yeah.
what's your mindset? Because I'm pretty sure you're hearing all that now.
Yeah, I definitely hear that. And for me, I think the way that Kentucky plays and Coach Brooks wants me to play, I think it's gonna put me in positions to score the ball and facilitate the offense. And I think, my high school team, we obviously score a bunch of points, average like 95 points per game. So I think my points just come from playing that style. And obviously I know I'm not gonna go to the SEC and average 40 points like I am now. Like I know it's not realistic, but just to be able to impact the game at, 3 level scoring and facilitate the offense, I think will translate to that game. Obviously, the scoring won't be the same, but I think the way that I attack the game, will translate.
How much has your foundation in high school got you to where you're at? And how's the fact that Minnesota's starting to become a hotbed for girls basketball?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people say like, "Oh, well, she's from Minnesota. She's playing small schools." We play the Hopkins, the Tonka, the all the D1 kids that come out of Minnesota, and I think people need to put some more respect on Minnesota basketball in general, but specifically girls basketball, because I mean, we play a D1 commit every single game, regardless of level, and I think just the way that my coach has. Our schedule has been the past couple of years too. We haven't shied away from playing anyone, and I think that too will really help me just the way I compete and the way that I want to win. I think that's something that I've really built on and something that I'll take into Kentucky.
How crazy is the fact that people mention you with Paige Bueckers as being the best ever come out of Minnesota?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I think so many people, my age growing up were watching her. She grew up 15 minutes from where I live. I went to every single game. And I think just to have her as, she was someone that I looked up to and wanted to play like her and, have her swagger and to be even close to the same conversation as her is ridiculous and, something that's really, really cool.
You have a good personal relationship?
I haven't ever like met her like now. I met her back in like 6th grade. I got a photo with her, but I would love to get connected with her at some point, when I'm in college and maybe need to reach out to her. So,
So when I can tell, unlike a lot of kids, you're a basketball junkie. You watch basketball all the time, right?
yeah. Yeah, I
So
do.
what do you do when you watch in the SEC, when you see everybody from Kentucky to even South Carolina, every game everybody's getting pushed,
Mhm.
regardless of who the team who's supposed to win or not. It's like every game's a dogfight.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I want. That's why I went to Kentucky. That's why I went to the SEC. I love to compete. I just want to win regardless of, what I have to do. And I think that's something that I think has set me apart the past couple of years, just, the need to win and to be competitive regardless of the matchup. So I'm super excited to, go to the SEC and have a dogfight every game. I don't like the games where you win by, 80. It's fun once in a while, but to be able to, kind of claw your way back into a game and compete, I think is something that, that's my favorite part about it. It's super fun.
And unlike a lot of kids, it seems like you're already like, I don't want to say like a pro, but it's like you're used to the media stuff, you're used to
Yeah.
pressure. Is that just coming with being a Greenway and the legacy set by both your parents? 'Cause I know everybody knows about your dad, but your mom was a good athlete too.
Yeah, she was good too. I think for me, especially growing up, like you said, in Minnesota with my dad, obviously being a huge name, I did kind of get thrown into the media and, public eye right away when I was starting to play. And then obviously just with success and around here too, like they celebrate the good athletes. So, gyms are packed, media, really, puts a spotlight on us, which I think is amazing. But it's definitely prepared me for the next level because I've gotten so much experience, with fans and people coming to the games and packed gyms and stuff. So I think it's tough sometimes with, having all the eyes on you, but I've grown to come to like it and I think it's helped prepare me.
But can you give some insight to the emotions of seeing your sister go 1,000 points? I saw the video. It's like you were
Yeah.
just excited as when you went over 5,000, her going to 1,000 as a freshman, and it was sincere.
Mhm.
Like, are y'all that close?
Yeah, no, me. So I have 3 younger sisters.
Are you the
The two,
oldest?
I am the oldest. Yep. Yeah, so they're 10 and or 11 and 8. So, we're all like best friends and super close. We grew up doing everything together, but specifically Becca and I, we grew up playing together ever since I was in 3rd grade. She came on the team as a kindergartner and I think too like we do all three sports together. So soccer and track we also do together. So I think spending every minute together we have become even closer even from what our relationship was. And just to see her, we work out together every day and I see all the work that she puts in that other people don't see. So when she got that, it truly was sincere, and I was super happy. Like I started crying just because I know how bad she wanted it and how much she works for it too.
Is she looking at you as the set standard? Is she like, whatever you get, I'm gonna break it? Is she telling you that?
Yeah, I think she definitely feels a little bit of pressure. Obviously, I've set a pretty high standard of points and assists and all that stuff and just like stats I guess overall in the state championships, but she's right there behind me and has done it, and I couldn't have done any of it without her either. So I think she's celebrated me but also a little bit wants to beat that record and go, and that's just how we are as a family too. We want to see each other succeed, but also it kind of pushes us to be better too.
How big a deal is it in the 5-star career with another state title?
Yeah, I think that's obviously my goal in the end. It's
Is
coming.
a
We
lot
have
of
two
pressure?
A lot of pressure, I think, yeah, but we have had that pressure ever since my 8th grade year when we won it. Every year it gets harder and harder to win it, but we kind of love that villain role. We come into a gym and it's like, oh, it's Providence. And you kind of have to love that role when you're in that position or else you're going to shy away. I mean, last year in our state championship, I don't think anyone wanted us to win besides our select few fans, but we love that. Like we want to come in and we want to play our game and yeah, just kind of prove everyone wrong. I think that kind of gives us doubts because we have had a lot of doubters being a small school, private school, all this stuff. People have a lot to say, but when we go out there and just play, they can't say much about that. So,
And so somebody see you, they just see your stats and see your game. What would you be thinking is your WNBA comp? This is a unique one. Like I literally studied your highlights. I would say it's a good mix between Kelsey Palm and Sonia Cintron.
yeah, I don't really know. I think someone that I study a lot, obviously she hasn't played yet, but Georgia Amore, not just because she's played with Coach Brooks, but even when I was growing up, my high school coach was like, obviously being a smaller guard, I'm pretty small, so just being able to see the way that she pushes the floor and is super crafty and leads her team. But I would say her obviously playing in college. Kelsey Plum I've got a little bit too, but I really just try and take my favorite parts of everyone's game and then also but just put it into my style. Love to play super fast and get up and down the court. So I think that's something that, again can kind of set me apart.
Gotcha. And what do you want people to know that to see you on the highlights and because like I said, I won't say you're an Instagram sensation, but you're all over Instagram. I'm like, is she really like that
Yeah.
person? What do you want people
Yeah.
to know about you as a person?
Yeah, I think I'm super, nice and easy to get along with. I think a lot of people just see my highlights and, I've gotten this a lot from people, but they see how competitive I am on the court. And obviously I am off of it too, but I'm much more calm down and personable and, I love to just joke around with people and have a lot of fun. So I think that's been my goal recently is just trying to get to know everyone and, when someone comes up to me, get to know them and talk to them and realize that I am someone outside of just the court and basketball and what people see on Instagram like a quick 15-second clip. So I really just I'm much more toned down off the court, I'd say.
Well, this is a completely off the script. With
Mhm.
I know you're in college, high school, get ready to be in college. I'm pretty sure 5 years from now you see yourself in the WNBA, correct?
I hope
So
so,
are
yeah.
you keeping up with how all this negotiations? Because it's going to affect people like you that are nowhere on the
Near it.
bargaining.
Yeah.
So are you
Yeah.
keeping up with that? They don't talk about that, but people like you are going to get directly impacted. First,
Yeah.
it starts with the Paige Bueckers now, and it goes trickle down to y'all. Are you paying
Yeah.
attention to all this craziness?
A little bit, yeah. I try to just, pay attention. My parents talk to me a little bit about it, but mostly just try and continue to work and just whatever will happen and just try to set myself up for the best success. But I do think it's crazy, like the world that we live in with everything going on. But I love how much the women's game is growing too. So it's been huge.
And how's it help you out with the NIL deals? Because I saw this, you're like considered like one of the top 5 NIL people come out of high school for the 2026. How cool is to be on that short list?
Yeah,
And
it's really
and what
cool.
do you do to go about smart? I'm pretty sure you got a lot of people we don't even know about that come at you. So you have like a process, or you like just like your parents do it, or you have a say so.
Yeah, I do have a say so. So I signed with Wasserman, like the agency, pretty recently, and I think my parents have kind of helped me navigate that. But mostly they just want me to keep centered on my main goal, and that's just becoming the best player I can be. And I think all the NIL stuff and all that will figure itself out. But for me, like when I was finding a college, my first question was never NIL. That was always kind of just I'll figure that out after. I just really wanted to have the personal connection and basketball fit that I was looking for because I knew that NIL will come and go and all that will happen, but I really just truly wanted to be happy in what I was doing. So, yeah.
My question, two-part question. Where you see
Mhm.
yourself 5 years from today, and what are 2 or 3 goals you got for your first year, your freshman season at UK?
Yeah, so 5 years from now, hopefully in the WNBA after having a successful college career, just really just wanna have, the best experiences and enjoy it all because one day it'll be gone and I'll look back and, miss it. So, really excited for that. And then for my first year, SEC Freshman of the Year, that would be awesome. Make it a deep run in the tournament. National championship is obviously the goal. But I really just think for me, it's growing in my point guard position and, you know, taking like all the challenges of like the college part of it head on and just really growing like mentality and as a player too. I think it'll be a big change, but I'm excited, to be a better person and player after it.
So you looking to get buckets right away then?
I hope so. Yeah.
What's I don't know her name. What's the girl for Vanderbilt? Does that kind of inspire you seeing somebody that's a freshman that and she did not
Galvin.
get
Yeah.
talked about nowhere? I didn't know about her until this year. She's a
Yeah.
killer.
She's a killer. I know. I've been watching obviously all of Vanderbilt's games, been keeping up with that. But my dad was kind of texting me about, watching her highlights and just seeing how she plays. Because again, I think we do have similar play style. Being the smaller guards, a lot of people kind of just think you're, small, can't really affect the game in different ways, at the college level. But the intensity that she plays with is something that I look to bring next year. And I think it's for me, it's super fun to watch because she can changes pace and brings like a fire to the game that I think I hopefully can bring too. So.
Appreciate your time. That's Maddyn Greenway, one of the all-time leading scorers in Minnesota State history. Is it matter about getting number one, or you just when you right focus on the ship right now that you got the 5K?
I think focusing on the chip, but I think with that can hopefully come the record. So we'll see.
And then you cool if another Green Bay comes back and breaks it 4 years from now.
We'll see. Yeah, maybe.
Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.